They're fake. Everything's fake. It's weird. And so it's like, this is the clearest, like, fixed fight you're ever going to see. Look at this. That looks so fake.
What just happened?
He hit him with the left.
I know.
But watch it again. Let's watch
it.
it again. Look at this guy holding his hands up and watch. Watch this. He, like, literally shows him his chin.
And just goes, like,
and he goes down. It's also nuts, right? Just the fact that he's willing to fight the two-time heavyweight champion, former Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
A guy who's gigantic in his prime, built like a Greek god.
Yeah.
And you're going to stand, and he's a one-punch killer. And you're going to stand in front of that guy, and he avoided shots till the 6th round. He just started getting tired.
Well, when you're on a platform like Netflix that turns one-part episodes into a 6-part series, why would you think that part of their entertainment model is to have a 30-second fight? Why?
So here's what just blew up across the internet and has everyone losing their minds. This wild claim dropped on the latest Joe Rogan podcast about Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. And if any of this is actually legit, everything we thought about this fight just got flipped upside down.
What I could have done better is a lot of things. 100%. In the fight game, you've seen the amazing fighters that have graced us over the last 100 years. And the expectations that we put on ourselves are immense, but I tried my best. Jake done well while it lasted, but if you remember what I said in the interview with Cameron is, fighting's not just physical, it's psychological. And when you understand the psychological warfare, I did say to you that, Jake, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna see a time when I'm gonna take your soul and you're either gonna give up or you're gonna get knocked out. And unless you have that instinct, you just will never be a good fighter. So I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start. But as we saw tonight, Jake.
Word is spreading like wildfire that Anthony Joshua supposedly spilled some serious tea, claiming Jake Paul actually approached him with a bribe before their showdown. And the request that came with it, nobody could have predicted what Paul allegedly asked for. This whole conversation apparently went down in private, and now fans everywhere are questioning whether influencer boxing is even real anymore. Here we go again with Joshua's comments, bringing back all those whispers that Jake Paul's biggest spectacles might just be elaborate business arrangements disguised as actual fights. So now the entire combat sports community is stuck with this really awkward question that's hanging in the air. Are we actually watching real competition here, or just premium entertainment wrapped up in boxing gloves?
And it's the way he did it that I was trying to tell people. I'm like, no, that was skillful. So like there's like boxing matches where you see two guys just slugging it out, one guy lands a punch, and yeah, he landed a good punch. What Jake did is he slid back and landed a punch.
Yeah.
It's like the athleticism along with the intelligence, the technique. I'm like, he's not even doing it that long. And he's also hyper competitive, even though he's wealthy.
Yeah.
You know, like you would assume that wealth would take away your drive for competition.
It hasn't, yeah.
He's also nuts, right? Just the fact that he's willing to fight the two-time heavyweight champion, former Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
A guy who's gigantic in his prime, built like a Greek god.
Yeah.
And you're going to stand, and he's a one-punch killer. And you're going to stand in front of that guy, and he avoided shots till this.
Rogan's got this way of cutting straight through the nonsense when something doesn't smell right. Sure, he didn't come out and make any direct accusations that could land him in court, but he kept hammering away at questions about whether this whole thing was legitimate. The guy made some solid points too. He wouldn't stop talking about this insane gap between a former heavyweight champion who's been grinding at the top level for years and this YouTuber who's still figuring out the sport. Rogan basically said that if Joshua had walked into that ring planning to end things as fast and as viciously as possible, we're probably looking at a fight that wraps up in maybe 2 rounds, tops. Then he dove into how modern combat sports are getting completely transformed by streaming money and these incredible payouts, where making a fight entertaining and dragging it out can actually be worth more than landing a quick knockout. The whole business model of the sport has shifted, according to him. This connects to the much bigger that's happening right now in combat sports. It's like having a basketball player who could dominate but chooses not to, except when he knocked out Nate Robinson, he absolutely destroyed him.
Jake Paul posted on Twitter after the fight, jaw broken, heart and balls intact. That's a good thing. Time to rest, recover, and return to cruiserweight. I mean, he's coming out of it as if, well, yeah, I got battered in the end, but boy.
That's what he will do. I mean, it depends what you think this was. I mean, I never felt it was anything other than entertainment. I'm not surprised that it. I mean, Anthony Joshua could have knocked Jake Paul out anytime he wanted to. He didn't want to.
So why didn't he?
Because, well, when you're on a platform like Netflix that turns one-part episodes into a 6-part series, why would you think that part of their entertainment model is to have a 30-second fight? Why? You watch a Netflix series, you can watch it and you can go, well, I get the gist of it. Why have you got to turn it into 10 episodes? Because I'm dying with boredom after episode.
Are you telling me that Netflix probably emphasized, listen guys, take this as long
Simon Jordan decided to throw gasoline on this fire by saying what everyone was thinking but nobody wanted to actually voice, that Anthony Joshua could have dropped Jake Paul whenever he felt like it during that entire fight, but made the conscious choice to hold back. The Jordan broke it down pretty clearly in his analysis, arguing that the fight had to go the distance to meet Netflix's business expectations, not boxing's competitive standards. He painted this picture where Joshua's power, his years fighting elite competition, and his technical skills were so far ahead of Paul's current abilities that ending it in round 1 or 2 would have completely destroyed the show and killed the streaming numbers Netflix was banking on. Instead, according to Jordan, the fight needed to go multiple rounds, create some manufactured excitement, and build tension to justify Netflix's massive investment in the worldwide audience they were trying to hook. Jordan didn't provide any smoking gun evidence or insider details to prove his theory, but his take definitely matched what tons of fans were already feeling in their gut, that when massive money and streaming platforms like Netflix get directly involved in combat sports, making it entertaining can quietly become more important than keeping it competitive, which leaves everyone watching afterward wondering if they just saw a real fight or a really expensive performance.
Jake Paul had a very healthy fear for his life while he was in there. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this contest. And then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again. He was fighting. He's got to go forward. So now he's clinched him. Now he's dropping down to his knees. He's going below the waist. He's getting a double leg position. Jake was fighting for his survival. You could see that this animal who's been caged and is just trying to make it through. It was incredible. And any boxer that wants to say, well, that wasn't high level boxing, go ahead. I won't argue with you. But any human that says that wasn't a fight, yeah, it was a fight.
Charlie Zilanoff came out swinging with his reaction to this fight, and he absolutely did not hold anything back. His exact words were, "This was not boxing. End of story." From Zilanoff's viewpoint as someone who really gets the sport at an elite level, what people saw that night had all the right visuals of a real boxing match. The ring was there, the gloves, the rounds, the referee, all of it looked perfect, but it was completely missing the heart, the intensity, and the real danger that actually makes boxing a competitive sport. He made a really strong case that genuine boxing, the championship level stuff, is all about danger and urgency, and this constant possibility that one mistake could end everything in a split second, and absolutely endness of those crucial elements showed up in what he watched. Zilanoff pointed out that the rhythm felt wrong, the holding back seemed deliberate, and the whole vibe of the fight felt way more like a scripted exhibition, something you'd catch at an Anger rather than a real contest between two people trying to hurt each other. He was smart enough not to directly accuse anyone of rigging results or planning outcomes, since that would be a serious legal problem, but his point came through loud and clear to anyone listening. When world-class fighters look like they could finish a fight whenever they want but keep choosing not to, you're not watching real competition anymore. You're watching entertainment, pretending to be sport. His final statement really drove it home. That was not a boxing match. It was something completely different.
Yeah. In awe of the fact that you do what you do.
I mean, it's not that hard to get your ass beat. I won 2 rounds and then I got dropped. But it was a great experience. Like, I learned a lot in there. But I had him wobbled at one point.
He hit you in the face, and not only did you not get knocked out, you dropped and said, wow.
Wow, that was nice. I was on the ground. I was like, that was a good shot.
Did he surprise you with his power?
He surprised my jaw. It's literally snapped. It's
What,
like
two-
a baseball in there. But yeah, I mean, I told everyone, though, that I would do better than Francis and that Francis kind of got no chin.
So
When everything was said and done, Anthony Joshua got pretty real about how he actually performed in there, admitting that even though he technically got the win with that 6th round knockout everyone witnessed, he honestly didn't think it represented his best work, and he knew he was capable of much more. Joshua was surprisingly open about needing to step up his game because he had trouble finding his range early on, and he couldn't trap Jake Paul as fast as most experts and fans thought he would, especially considering how much more experienced he is. He called it a victory for sure, but made it clear it wasn't a success by his own measuring stick, and he stressed that he's got serious work ahead if he wants to get back to championship status. Pretty refreshing honesty from someone who just knocked out one of the biggest names in combat sports right now.
You know, for me, in my opinion, I think it's scripted a little bit because, you know, up the weight difference, and, you know, Joshua is a former, you know, champion. And also, you know, he's current, he's active, you know, and this is going to be the first time that we see Paul, you know, fighting an active fighter. You know what I mean? We seen the Mike Tyson, that was all fun, that was cute, you know what I'm saying? It's fun and games and stuff, but now you're dealing with a real professional, you know, and so we'll see how it ends up you know, like I said, I think it's scripted, but, you know, we're going to see. At the end of the day, I just want everybody to have fun. I want them to enjoy themselves because we risk our lives for others' entertainment, and just go home safely to be able to have memories and say we did a great job.
Francis Ngannou might want to pay attention now, because despite taking that knockout loss, this is where Jake Paul's promotional brilliance really kicks into high gear. The second his high-profile battle with Anthony Joshua wrapped up, Jake Paul immediately shifted all the attention away from the defeat and straight toward his next target, confidently challenging former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou, who happens to possess some of the most terrifying knockout power in all of combat sports. During a post-fight interview that was obviously well-rehearsed, Paul made it clear he's ready and eager to face the most dangerous competitors in combat sports, showing a calculated pivot from influencer boxing toward mixed martial arts crossover hype, which is where the real massive paydays are happening right now. This call out wasn't just trash talk or wounded pride, it was smart and calculated, using all the mainstream buzz from the Joshua fight to position himself as a genuine threat to one of MMA's most feared knockout artists while keeping his name in the headline. Fans all over social media responded with this fascinating combination of real excitement and serious doubt, wondering if Paul could actually survive Ngannou's world-class striking and wrestling skills that he sharpened over years competing in the UFC. But looking at it from Paul's business angle, and you've got to respect how well he understands this game, the fight gives him another perfect opportunity to control news cycles for weeks, generate huge pay-per-view sales, and drive his brand even deeper into mainstream combat sports, staying true to his proven strategy of high-stake, high-reward matchups that intentionally blur the lines between entertainment and sport in ways that keep people talking and spending money. Deontay Wilder certainly made his feelings known when he saw this Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul situation unfold, describing it as one of the strangest and most puzzling events in recent boxing history. And coming from Wilder, those words carry serious credibility. Wilder couldn't hide his shock that a former heavyweight champion like Joshua, someone who's competed at the absolute pinnacle of the sport, would actually agree to face off against a social media personality, questioning both the competitive value of the matchup and the real reasons behind agreeing to it in the first place. While he admitted that yeah, there's clear entertainment appeal in these enormous financial rewards that can't be overlooked, Wilder made it perfectly clear that from a professional boxing perspective, from someone who's held championship belts and battled killers throughout his career, this matchup felt completely artificial and wrong. He emphasized the massive difference in skill, experience, and natural knockout ability between these two fighters, a gap that anyone who truly understands boxing simply can't overlook. He also suggested, and this is the part that really got people's attention, that Joshua's whole game plan and mindset might have been shaped by things that have nothing to do with sport, like media coverage, streaming platform demands, and business factors, instead of pure athletic competition and proving who's the superior fighter. That's a pretty harsh evaluation from someone who knows exactly what real championship level boxing should look like.